Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Old Pods podcast. I'm Alan, this is Paul.
Hello.
Back to the norm this week, or so to speak, where we're running through genres of movies and some of our favourites from the genre. This week we are doing thrillers. Just the same format as usual. We'll go back and forth, spend an hour reaming off a couple of our favourites, and then we'll throw in a few honourable mentions if it gets a bit tight for time. Lawson, do you want to kick it off? Do you want to jump in with your first one?
Can do. Should we do favourites first, or should we do honourable mentions? Rattle them
Do
off
favourites
quick.
first, and then we'll just
Do
throw in
favourites first.
honourable mentions at the end. Yeah, I forget.
Right. My first one. I'm gonna preface everything, all the films I say with this, in that I think it's a thriller, because thriller's a bit of a mercurial one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
It can
There's
be
definitely some
crime,
on
it
my
can be
list that I
drama,
like.
it can be. I mean, some horrors are thrillers as well. I've got one on here that's like a horror thriller for me,
Yeah,
anyway.
I've got a couple that you'd maybe class as horror thrillers, action thrillers,
Yeah. It's in the eye of the
mystery
beholder a bit.
thrillers.
Anyway, this one's like a drama thriller, and it's called Once Were Warriors. It's
Okay.
from '94, so it's an old one. It is about a family who live on one of the islands around Australia. I think it's another one that's been a while since I've seen. I think the Maoris, um, the main family and the community that they live in, and it follows this one family and the father, the patriarch of the family, called Jake the Muss, and he's a bit of a, well, I mean, he's not a bit. He's a shit. He drinks loads. He's the local hard man. Everybody's
Yeah.
scared of him, and I think he confuses respect for fear a little bit, and everybody's a little bit scared of Jake because he's got a very short temper and he drinks a lot. Um, and he's got a really tempestuous relationship with his wife, who he does care about, but he's also incredibly violent with in his drunkenness.
Yeah.
And it just follows his family, but him slowly drifting from his family and more into the drink and hanging with his boys in the bar and stuff like that, and the various sort of disasters that befall his family while he's ignoring them. Really, it's like a family drama, but it's got some really sort of dark undertones and overtones at some points as well.
Yeah.
The main actor is Tim Morrison. He's Boba Fett, or
Oh,
the new
right,
Boba
yeah.
Fett. He's the main character in it. Jake. Rena Owen is his wife. I think it's Rena Owen. Yeah, I think it won loads. I think it won awards, and I think they won awards for it as well. Um, and it's one of them films where you can't really look away from it. Like everything's just super tight, but
Yeah,
it's also one that you don't really want to watch again because it's quite grim and violent and dark, and it ends on a bit of a downer, sort of a bit of a downer. You know, you can take some. It's bittersweet, I suppose.
Yeah.
As always, I don't really want to give too much away and mention too much about it, but it's absolutely amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
not your classic thriller, but it definitely strays into thriller territory
What's it
with
called?
some of the events. Once Were Warriors.
Once Were Warriors.
I mean, it's an old film now, '94. That's what 30 years back.
Yeah, easy.
But yeah, brilliant film.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't think I've ever heard of it, to be honest.
You might you'll probably recognize the poster slash video cover, DVD cover for it, because it was one of them films that was just like every shop you went in, it was there. I think it might have been one of the early part of like the early wave of DVDs that got made, because we
Yeah, I
were around
do. I
when like
remember. I'm
DVDs
just
were new.
give it a Google now. I definitely remember the poster for it and the imagery
Yeah,
around it.
it was everywhere back in the day, and I think that's how I ended up watching it. I think I rented it from a pretty video shop and watched it, and it's always been like one of my top films. Yeah, really harrowing, but brilliant.
Gets a lot of praise. 7.9 on IMDb, which is good considering the stars are not massive stars.
Yeah,
93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah, it is a great film. It's brilliant. It's like a proper, hard hitting drama, as they used to say.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe not one to watch on date night or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic film. Everybody's absolutely on point. There's sort of one of them where it almost feels like a documentary you're watching because everybody's so
Yeah.
believable in the roles. I think there's a couple of well, aside from the main cast, I think there's a couple of other people got famous after it as well. One of his friends is a really big star who's in loads of stuff. He's
Yeah.
I think his brother, Uncle Bully.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds good.
but yeah, I don't want to spoil anymore.
No, well, give it a look. Obviously, I'll give it a look because it's not one I've seen before. But I'll check it out. Every time I say that, when I've been saying that, like for movies that will come across, and I've seen, I was like, oh, I'll check it out, and then I'll post a clip of it online, on like TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, or whatever your flavor is where you watch it, and I'm always quite astounded by how many people have seen them and kind of jump on the comments and pick them up. Like particularly that the one from Sci-Fi a couple of weeks ago, Life Force, that you spoke about.
Oh shit, yeah, Life Force, yeah.
Yeah, fuck me, that
Space
gets a
vampires.
lot of love. Yeah, a lot of love online.
Yeah, it's proper cult. That yeah, it's
Yeah,
like it's a real cult film. Yeah, because it's so fucking weird. Yeah, it's a proper oddity, but yeah, it's
yeah. She
brilliant.
was getting a lot of love online for it as well. Like
Oh, she's gorgeous. Yeah, the vampire lady. Yeah,
a
or
lot of the
whatever she is,
comments I was
space
coming
vampire.
through was like, she's amazing. She's
Yeah.
top tier.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah,
gorgeous. Yeah. Well, I mean, they needed a woman who would walk around half the film in the nip.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, okay. I'll go my first one. My first one's an old one as well, early '90s. Stackcast: Tommy Lee Jones, Harrison Ford, Julianne Moore, The Fugitive.
You know what? I've never seen The Fugitive.
You've never seen? All
No,
right.
never seen it. I know it's
Oh,
it's the one armed man, isn't it?
yeah, it's
Is
the
that the
one on
one
man. I've got to
from
give you the
Ace
big pitch
Ventura?
now.
It wasn't
Yeah.
me. It was the
Yeah,
one armed man.
like if it was nowadays, it'd spawn so many memes. It'd be unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh, I can't
remember. I
believe you've never
remember
seen it.
I remember seeing the trailer and everything for it all the time, but I never actually watched it. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know. I
it's
don't know why,
great.
because I like Tommy Lee Jones. I think he's fantastic.
I'll definitely not spoil anything because it's a
Yeah,
great, great movie. Check it out. Tommy Lee Jones is fantastic in it. Is the US Marshal? The US Marshal. He got a spin off. He got a second movie from it.
yeah. I was going to say there's a sequel of Snipes, wasn't there?
Yeah, called US
Yeah.
Marshals.
Uh-huh.
Another great movie as well. I'm obviously come off the back of this. So Harrison Ford is accused of murdering his wife. Obviously denies it from the offset, and gets an opportunity to escape when he's being transported to prison. Takes the opportunity and goes on the run. He's quite an intelligent bloke, and he's looking to find his wife's killer to clear his name. And that's where the story is. Tommy Lee Jones is assigned to track him down, to find him and bring him to see justice. And that's it. The chase is on. It's very intense. There's a lot of great dialogue. There's a lot of great scenes. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil it, particularly if you haven't seen it. But it's one of those staple thrillers from the early 90s, what just kind of not set the bar, but it became super popular at the time.
Yeah, I remember it being massive. Like I remember
Yeah,
it
it was
being a big
huge.
thing.
It was
Yeah.
huge, and it gets a lot of love. It gets a lot of love online still now. Similar kind of scores as to We Were Soldiers. 7.8 IMDb, 96% Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm,
It's very intense. It's a very kind of gripping thriller. You're on
mhm.
the edge of your seat almost the entire way through the movie. It gets your mind thinking because you're thinking, how's this all coming together? Who's the killer? What's the reasoning behind it? Did he actually do it? And
Mm.
it's great. Very, very good. Very good. I can't believe you've not seen The Fugitive. Can't believe you've not seen The Fugitive.
There's some films I've not seen for God knows what reasons, like Lethal Weapon films. Never seen them.
It
There's,
fucking drives me insane
there's
that you've never
just
seen
some
the
films
Lethal
that
Weapon
I've
films.
yeah that like everybody's seen that I've not seen, and I've no idea why.
We definitely
Yeah,
want to watch some Lethal Weapon movies.
I'm just like not.
The
I'm
next
just
time
not
we
getting
get
around to
together,
it.
we'll put in Lethal Weapon movies on.
Like I've
Even
not.
if it's at the end of the night when we're fucking half cut, ready for a nap, Lethal Weapon's
Yeah,
going on.
like I've not seen Lethal Weapon, but I've seen Tango and Cash, which was like a shit
Yeah,
Lethal Weapon knockoff.
yeah. Tango and Cash is another classic though.
Oh, mate, it's great, but it was a blatant knockoff of Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, easy. Easy. Shame. Don't you know ponytails are out this season? Class
Fucking
movie.
Tango and Cash. What a
Great movie. Absolute great movie. God, I haven't seen that in a long time. Yeah. It's good fun. Real
yeah,
fun.
I've just loaded it up there on one of me things. Fugitive. I'll definitely watch that. Is the
Yeah.
sequel good? Sequel any good on it?
US Marshals, yeah.
Yeah,
US Marshals is very good as well. It's a different kind of tone to it. It's a little bit more action in US Marshals, which you probably expect with Snipes in as well.
yeah, because he was like a big action star, wasn't he? Yeah,
But it builds a little bit more of the world. You get a little bit more interaction with Tommy Lee Jones's team that he goes on
yeah.
manhunts with. And I'm pretty sure that's got a pretty good cast as well. Actually, I'll give it a quick
But
Google now.
the first one's about Harrison Ford, but like the second one's about Tommy Lee, isn't it? It like swaps. Does it swap focuses a bit?
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely,
I remember seeing the
absolutely. So
trailers for both, and yeah,
it's more the perspective. So the fugitive is the perspective
the
of the
fugitive.
fugitive of Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford doesn't even make an appearance in the second one,
Yeah,
and it's all around Tommy Lee Jones and his team. And I've completely forgot he was in it, but just googled it now, and Downey Jr.'s in it. Downey Jr. is one of his cocky juniors in his team. Yeah, just looking at the rest of the cast. Who was the guy? I can't remember his name. Daniel Robb. Joe Pantolini was in this one again. He gets around a
Oh
bit here.
yeah,
A lot
I've
of
been everything.
90s. Was it Newman? Thomas Mills Wood. Anyway, there's one of the guys who's kind of. Yeah, it was. It was Newman. So an actor called Thomas Mills Wood, and you'll recognize him a mile off. He's like kind of. The recent pictures are hard to kind of pick him out, but when you look at older pictures of him, you'll go, "Oh yeah, I've seen him in a few bits before."
Is he that guy actor?
Yeah, definitely. Not so much now. Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything with him. I don't think I've seen him in anything for a long time. But when he was younger and kind of baby faced, you probably recognise him. But yeah, watch The Fugitive. If you enjoy The Fugitive, watch US Marshals. I struggle to say that. Fucking hell, it's difficult to say US Marshals.
I've got Fugitive loaded up. I'll watch that. I might watch that tomorrow while I'm working. So I remember.
Good, very solid movie. Very solid movie. What you got for your next one?
Aye. The next one for me is a more recent one, 2013. It's called Blue Ruin.
Okay.
Blue Ruin. It's a bit hard to say that one. The main character, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I might butcher it. It's either Macon or Mason. Mason Blair or Macon Blair. And I think he's the biggest name in it.
Okay.
I think it was a relatively like low budget independent type thing that got picked up. The basic premise of it is it starts out following this main character, and he's like a complete bum. He's just a homeless guy he's like lifting food out of trash cans and eating it and stuff, and he looks like shit. He's got like long beard and straggly hair and old clothes. I
Yeah.
don't think he's even got shoes. And I can't remember how he finds out exactly, but he finds out that somebody's been released from jail, and it immediately like flips a switch in him. And
Yeah.
so he calls his sister, and you slowly you find out that the his father's killer has been released from jail,
Right. Okay.
and he decides that he's going to begin this revenge campaign to sort of kill them, essentially, to take them out. But it's not like fucking Taken. You know, he doesn't have a particular set of skills. He's
Yeah.
just this tragic sort of lost soul who's completely fell out of life and society and everything. Um, is just compelled to do this act to take revenge, but he's in no way equipped. Like he doesn't have a gun and he can't fire guns. He doesn't really have any contacts at all who could help. He's just sort of this complete waster on a fairly doomed mission, really, going up against some people who are heavily armed and very capable and really violent and motivated.
Yeah.
And it just follows him on this doomed campaign of vengeance. Quite a quiet film. You know,
Hmm.
it has some violent moments and some bits that you could almost consider action scenes. Yeah, like a quiet. He never really speaks. He's got very few real lines in it and dialogue. He's very shy and he's very quiet and withdrawn. And sort of the few people that he does interact with sort of tell him that he's a bit crazy and he doesn't really know what he's doing and he's going to get hurt. But yeah, very very sort of tight, very edgy. You see, because he's so sort of tragic in a way that at any moment you think he's gonna die, he's gonna get killed. You know, he's like the kind of guy who just you get run over walking across the street. You know, he's so
Yeah.
sort of out of it, but he perseveres and he's lucky a few times. He has some good luck in it here and there, and he's a man on a mission really.
Yeah.
But brilliant. The story's got lots of twists. Not sort of big Shyamalan style twists, but there's sort of some revelations and things like that. Um, yeah, you really feel sort of carried along, and it's got this. It always seems to have this sort of quite quiet but also quite panicky atmosphere to it. because he genuinely doesn't know what he's doing, and he doesn't really know what the next step is. He knows things like, I need to get a gun, but he doesn't know where to get a gun. He doesn't know
Yeah,
how to
yeah,
he doesn't know how to fire a gun properly. So everything's got this sort of element of sort of mild panic to it, that you feel sort of worried as you're taking on this quest with him.
yeah. Sounds good. It's another one. Just looking now, it's on Prime to watch free, so I'll check it out. But it's another one that's solid reviews, high scores, high ratings across the board from
I
everything.
didn't know how it was taken, like reviews and stuff. I didn't know
Yeah,
how well it
fucking
did.
96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fucking hell, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, that for me, that's like a proper thriller. That's like thriller right down to the bone.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like it's revenge. It's not a particularly nice movie. I think thrillers always are a little bit nasty, a bit mean spirited.
yeah, yeah. A lot of them aren't.
Yeah, quite violent, quite nihilistic. Yeah, brilliant film, absolutely brilliant film.
Okay. My next one is, I'm just looking through my list, see which one I want to go for, because I'm very conscious. I've got a bit of a list and we'll run out of time to get through them all. So I'm going to do a classic, which is probably uh, not a horror thriller, but I mean, it's horror to me. It certainly was when I was a kid because it scared the shit out of me. Silence of the Lambs.
Ah, it's one of your favorite films, isn't it?
It's one of my favourite
Yeah,
films. One of my favourite films. And obviously, everybody knows Silence of the Lambs, so I'll not bang on about it too much. Everybody knows it famously, like the famous lines from,
yeah, Lecter.
yeah, from
Yeah,
Lecter. Everybody knows it, the premise of it. Clarice is a trainee looking to make her name, and she's looking into a serial killer. And she goes to help from Hannibal Lecter, and then they have their. I think is it. I'm right in saying that this Anthony Hopkins has only got something ridiculously like 15 minutes screen time or something in it, hasn't he?
probably. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not in it much.
no, it's very low, very low. But Jodie Foster's great in it. Anthony Hopkins great in it. It's super intense. It scared me enough as and I probably was a kid watching it while it come out in when it Silence of the Lambs come out.
God, that must be early 90s.
91.
One, Jesus.
91. So I'll have not watched it then, but I'll have been about 95, so I'll have been about 12, 13, maybe,
Mm,
possibly. And it was enough to frighten me, but not enough to put me up because it was
mm.
intriguing. Like, I always liked the idea of the FBI and, like, the training and the investigations and the processes that they used. So it was quite fascinating to watch it. And I think some of the scariest scenes in it come from scenes away from Hannibal Lecter.
Oh yeah, like the killer Buffalo Bill.
Yeah,
He
Buffalo
was he
Bill's
was
creepy as fuck.
properly freaky. Yeah, like
Yeah. What does he say when he's lowering that stuff down? It's like, we drink the water.
put the lotion on its skin or
We
something.
put the lotion on our
It puts the
skin.
lotion on its skin. Yeah, he refers to his victims as like it's
Yeah.
in the second person or third person, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Buffalo Bill was creepy. Yeah.
But in the scene as well, when he goes, he sends her on he gives her a little hint to look in somewhere, and it's a bit of, almost like a little bit of a riddle, Lecter, and she ends up finding the storage container.
Hmm.
And of course, it's in the middle of the night when she gets to this storage container, and the door doesn't open fully, so she creeps in underneath, and she's looking around with a torch. I thought that scene was fucking electric. It was.
I can't remember that scene.
Oh, she finds the jars with like the body parts in it. Doesn't
I
she
can't
find a
remember.
head or something in there?
I might be. I'll have to do. I might be due a rewatch. It's been a while since I've
Oh
seen it.
yeah, Silence of the Lambs container.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember. I remember it coming out like, and it was a bit of a revelation at the time. I think it was a how do I describe it? There was just a real buzz around it,
Yeah,
and that poster with like the white. It was like, I think it was Jodie Foster's face, but
Jodie
it's
Foster's
like
face. Yeah,
it's
it
like
was.
all white and sort of really super airbrushed, smooth and flat like a doll's face with the
Yeah,
moth on the front of
with
it.
the moth.
And it was, yeah, it seemed to be, I don't know, it seemed to be a like an injection of something new into thrillers, into the thriller genre. It seemed, yeah, I remember it gripped everybody when it came out. It was like it was the film that everybody talked about
Yeah. Oh
for a
shit! I've
long
never
time.
known that. So I've just done a Google image search on it, looking at the cover, and on the moth over our mouth, it's got obviously one of the moths. It's got like the skull on the back.
Yeah, Death's
But
Death's Head
that
Hawk Moth.
yes, yeah. But in that particular image, the the skull on its back is actually a Salvador Dali image.
Is
of
this right?
the bodies that make up a skull.
The women. Yeah, the
Yes,
women.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, right. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know. I'm
No,
just looking
I
at the
didn't know
post.
that
I'm
either.
just looking at the poster now. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, because he
Learn
kills
something
women,
new every day.
doesn't he? Buffalo Bill. He kills women and skins them
Kills women and
because
skills them.
he's making a woman suit.
Skills women and kills them. Skill
Skins them.
skins. That's what I meant to say.
Are you all right tonight?
But while I'm
You
trying,
having trouble with your words?
yeah, I'm mumbling a lot.
Yours,
Anyway, yeah, Silence of the Lambs. That's my next one.
yeah, Silence of the Lambs was a banger. Yeah,
Big one, big hitter. Great movie. Everybody knows it. I don't need to tell anybody to go and watch Silence of the Lambs because if you like thrillers or you're into kind of 90s movies or you're from that kind of generation, you've probably seen it. You've probably
yeah.
seen it. But I think it's definitely worth a mention if we're talking about thrillers.
I think everything that come from it's been good as well. To be honest, I enjoyed Hannibal, the
I
sequel.
didn't
It's a
I
little
didn't
bit
watch
daft.
the series Hannibal, but my nephew absolutely raved about it. He loved it. He thought it was great.
Yeah, the series was good. I enjoyed the series. I don't think I made it through season 3. I think season 2 ended like nicely for me.
Yeah, and I don't remember much of the sequel movies or the prequel movies.
The
I
sequel movie
remember.
Hannibal was good. It was a bit more, I don't know, a bit more hokey, a bit more Hollywood.
Is that the one that's got Gary Oldman and all the prosthetics?
Yes, where he's the pig.
Yeah,
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 the pigs. Sorry. Yes, that was the sequel, and then they made the prequel,
Red Dragon.
Red Dragon, which
Yeah,
was the Tooth Fairy killer
yes.
and the cop Will. I forget his name, but it
I
was
want to say,
Edward
was it?
Norton who played
I
him.
was going to say, was it Ed Norton? I got confused whether it was Ed Norton or John Cusack.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Ed Norton played the cop
Yeah.
in Red Dragon, which is a remake of Manhunter.
Which is
Yeah,
the one where Jodie Foster was replaced by Julianne Moore?
that's the sequel, Hannibal.
That's Hannibal.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
movie, not the series.
Yes. Yeah.
The series, I think the series follows a lot of the sequel film. There's like
Yeah.
parts of the series that are in the Hannibal film. The bit with the Gary Oldman character is in the series. There's a fair bit of crossover, but the series is good. It's worth a watch. It's a
Yeah.
different animal. It's like a detective cop show. Starts out as like a detective show, because Hannibal's helping them profile killers, like
Hmm.
like weird killers. And of course, he's Hannibal Lecter, so he's up to no good himself on the side.
Yeah. I did like. I'm just looking back at images from the Hannibal movie now. I did like that one. Now I'm looking through images. I'm getting flashbacks of watching it and enjoying it.
Yeah, I think Hannibal's in Italy for most of it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he
He
works in a
is. Yeah.
museum or something.
Because
Yeah,
doesn't one of the cops decide like, oh, I'm going to try and capture him because I can
the
get the
cops.
reward
Yeah,
money?
one of the cops catches him. Yeah, or he
Yeah.
figures him out. Yeah,
Yeah. And then it goes all the shit for him. Yeah, I like the little scene where Julianne Moore was talking to the guy. I think she's talking to the guy about something else, but he brings up Hannibal Lecter and he goes, "Oh well, how often do you think about him?" She goes, "Oh, at least 2 to 3 minutes a day."
mm.
And at the time, I always thought that was quite evocative. But I thought evocative, that's not the right word. Um, it was quite intriguing
Mm.
because you think it's quite dismissive that you think, oh, 2 or 3 minutes a day is nothing. But if you think about somebody that often every single
Every
day,
single day. Yeah, because it's
yeah,
been years
that,
since the
yeah, it
film.
becomes a bit
Yeah,
intense,
since the
doesn't it?
escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only bit that I do remember, and a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen it, or a massive spoiler if you haven't seen it, is near the end where she catches up with him. Julia Mill catches up with him, and she handcuffs him to
Yes.
herself,
Yeah.
and he goes, "Prepare yourself. This is really going to hurt, Clarice." I knew straight away as soon as he said that it was going to chop his own fucking hand off.
Yeah, because he's in love with Clarice, isn't he?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
a way, in his
In his own little
horrible,
twisted way.
monstrous
But then
way.
it
Yeah.
finishes on another really sickly kind of minging note when he's travelling and he's on the aeroplane.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got the little tub of cooked
Yeah. The,
brains.
the pre-cooked brains. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and is it the kid or something that's sitting beside him? And he's like, "Oh
He's
no,
look.
what you're
He's
eating?" And
watching
he
him
says,
eat.
"Oh,
Yeah.
it's a little treat."
Yeah. And he's feeding the kid brains.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a kinky one. Is Hannibal. Right. My next one. I don't know whether. Yeah. I will talk about it. It's hard to talk about this one without giving too much away, as with all of them. It's called Hunter Hunter. Hunter Hunter.
Hunter Hunter. Oh,
Yes.
that reminds me of one that's not on my list called The Hunted. It's another Tommy Lee Jones one. It's quite recent, 2020.
2020. It's It is about a family who lives out in the wilds. I think it's modern times, or it's certainly modern enough.
Mm.
They live way out in the sticks because they wanted to like get away from everything, just like
Fucking
get away
hell.
from real life.
You're picking all the bangers today. I think every one of yours has had a like around about a 95% score on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm not going to talk about the shit films I watch, am I, man?
Oh fucking hell! All right, Jesus.
um, I've watched plenty of shit as well. I can talk about that if you want. um, uh, yes, it's about this family who live out way out in the sticks. They wanted to live like this sort of Spartan life away from society, mod cons essentially. They wanted this, and they do have a rough time of it. I think they sell animal pelts. They like animal hunters, catchers and killers, and it's a father, mother, and daughter. And the father notices that some of the animals, he goes out into the woods because they live in the woods. He goes out in the woods to check his traps for animals, and he notices that some animals have been eaten by wolves. Like some of the trapped animals have been torn up and killed and eaten by wolves.
Yeah,
So he sends his daughter home to the mother because the mother stays at home. Sends his daughter home, and he sort of decides to go and hunt this wolf. But while he's out hunting this wolf, he notices human tracks as well, and
right.
signs of no good. And he comes upon a site of a lot of women have been murdered, stripped naked, murdered, and the bodies arranged in like a ritual sort of pattern. Like not just dumped there; they've been laid there very specifically.
Yeah,
So he has to contend with hunting this wolf while also being acutely aware that there's some kind of killer on the loose in the woods as well,
mm.
and he's having to be aware of both of these facts, plus the fact that he's got a wife and daughter back home who are relatively defenseless and who need money and supplies and things like that because they really do live like on the line. And they can't like pop to the shops. They haven't. They need him really because he's got the rifle. If this wolf turns up at their house, they're screwed. So yeah, anything I can't really say much else other than that because it starts to get into spoiler territory. But it's quite low budget. There's a couple of like shonky bits with effects in there with like the wolf, but it's kind of you can glaze over it. It's not film ruining. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
it's
definitely.
just show. It's a sign of it's low budget, but story wise and acting wise, it's bang on.
Yeah, well,
And the
particularly with thrillers as well. A lot of the time, you're not looking for like a big
yeah,
budget special effect
yeah, yeah.
kind of
You can
showpiecey. You want a story. You want good
that's it. Yeah,
characters.
you
You want
can let
development.
things like that slide. It's
You want
for
something compelling enough to get you interested in the movie without
yeah,
the massive visuals selling you on it.
yeah. But it's along the lines of things like Silence of the Lambs and Seven and stuff like that. Uh it's quite sort of dark and a little bit it's sort of the whole thing's drenched in this sort of panicky, not hopelessness, but sort of time's running out, and so many things could happen wrong in the film. A lot of things could go wrong at any moment, and then everybody would be screwed. So it's so you sort of you're keeping track of everything that's happening and
Yeah,
hoping everything goes right for everyone involved, and also trying to unravel the mystery of what's going on in the woods with like these bodies and why is the wolf suddenly appeared. And yeah,
yeah,
uh,
cool.
can't say more than that. But it's yeah, the whole thing builds up into this huge crescendo at the end. The sort of it doesn't chug along. It's accelerating constantly, and it gets more
Yeah,
and more intense as it goes along. And the end's just this insane. Just yeah, the ending's fucking crazy. But yeah, as
yeah.
always,
Hunter, Hunter.
great film. Give it a watch.
Yeah. Okay, my next one is how would I describe it? I would describe it as a supernatural thriller.
Oh, nice.
From when did it come out? 1998. Denzel Washington, John Goodman, Donald Sutherland is a film called Fallen.
Fallen's mint.
Fallen is
I love
fucking
Fallen.
brilliant.
Need Kev on for that one because Kev loves Fallen as well.
Oh yeah, it is fucking great. So the premise of Fallen is Denzel Washington is a detective and he's looking into what he thinks is a series of copycat killers, looking for these gruesome murders that are taking place. So he's trying to track it down, and it becomes established quite quickly in the movie that it's in fact not a copycat killer, or it's theorized that it's a demon called Azazel that has the ability to jump bodies very quickly by touch. And Denzel Washington, obviously being a detective and very grounded and very evidence based, is quite reluctant to believe that until little hints and little tidbits of evidence start to point him in that direction. And without getting too far into it, you start to give away spoilers if you go too far. But there's some great touches in it, great touches. The demon Azazel's got a bit of affinity with a song, and I don't remember the name of the song, but it goes,
Time's on my
"Time
side.
is on my side."
Yeah.
Yes, it is, because it's this like immortal demon. And there's a great scene where just as Denzel Washington's like on the cusp of believing and actually realizing that it is a demon, and he starts following this guy who's singing this song, and suddenly people are walking past him and go, "Time," and he'll turn and he'll look at them, and then somebody else will walk past him and go, "Time," and it's great. It's very intense, very visceral.
Yeah, I remember that bit because it's like he's walking down the street through a crowd, isn't it? And everybody he
So
touches
obviously there's a
starts
plethora
to
of
sing
bodies.
that song. It's
Yeah, for his ears, it'll jump between, so
yeah,
he can be
like
anywhere, he can be anybody,
yeah,
and again, like you said earlier, to Hunter kind of builds to this crescendo of this final confrontation,
yeah,
and Denzel Washington's trying to find a way to capture or kill this demon. And I won't
uh,
go too much into it because I don't want to spoil it. But he comes up with a plan that he thinks really solid, and with the help of his partners John Goodman and Donald Sutherland, he tries to get to the bottom of it and figure it out and get it done. I don't remember too much of Donald Sutherland's character in it, to be honest.
I was just trying to think who's Donald Sutherland in it because
He's one of the lieutenants. I
it's
know he's one of the
a long
lieutenants,
time
but I
since
can't
I've
remember
seen
how
it.
much he plays a role in it.
I remember John Goodman. I remember I remember him being in it. He was really good in it.
Yeah,
I think
John Goodman's
John
great in it.
Goodman is really good. I think he's an underrated actor.
John Goodman is a very underrated actor. Obviously, he gets pegged a lot for like the comedy stuff, but he's a very, very good actor. Very good actor. I've got a lot of time for John Goodman movies. Um, but yeah, there's a great twist at the end as well. At the end of Fallen, which I'll not get into. I don't want to spoil it because it's if you've not seen it, go check it out. It's
Yeah,
very
it's a proper good twist, isn't it?
it's a really good
Yeah,
twist. Really good twist.
proper sting in the tail type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, that's my next one, Fallen. And unlike yours, where yours have all been in the 90s, Fallen didn't get that much of a strong um, response or kind of critical acclaim. Fallen sits at 40% on Rotten Tomatoes,
What?
which I find
Fucking
a
Rotten
bit
Tomatoes.
nuts.
They don't know their ass from their elbow.
Nah, fuck them. Fuck them.
Yeah,
Watch Fallen. It's good.
Fallen's a great film. I've not got it on my list, but it's similar to a film called Frailty. Have you seen that?
Alright, okay. No, I don't think I've seen it.
That is a film about a guy who, that's Bill, forgetting that, Paxton, maybe?
Yeah.
I always get the Bills mixed up, Pullman or Paxton.
What's it called?
Frailty.
2001.
Yeah, without going too heavily into it, he's like he's a guy who he claims to have been told by an angel that he now has the ability to detect and kill demons.
Right.
And they look like everybody else. You just look like people and they're normal people and stuff like that. But I think it's if he touches them, he can sense that they're demons, and he can kill them in the name of the Lord. And you don't quite know if he's crazy or if it's real, or if he thinks it's real and he's just killing people, or if it actually is the whole shebang. It's and because he's got two sons, and he sort of starts to teach his two sons and enlist them in this sort of like convincing them that these people are that they have to die because they're demons.
Yeah.
It had a very similar vibe, even though it's set in a different like time era. I think Frailty might be set in like the 60s or something, or maybe in the 50s. But it's got a really similar vibe to Frailty. That kind of is it supernatural? Is it craziness? Like and coincidental, or it dances that fine line. But yeah, not on my list. But I was considering putting it on my list because it's a brilliant film, Frailty.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. I'm not one.
Anyway,
It's definitely not one I've seen. I'm getting a lot here, a lot of recommends.
I thought you might have seen that. Yeah, Frailty's another one that I'm sure Kev showed me that the first time. Frailty, our
Yeah,
friend Kevin, who might come on the podcast soon.
yeah, he's going to make some cameos, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure Kev showed me Frailty for the first time, and it was brilliant. It might be one that we rented back in the day when we
Yeah.
were young and pretty. Anyway, my next one is a Korean film called Lady Vengeance, sometimes called Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. It's part of the trilogy called the Vengeance trilogy, part one of which was Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. Part two is Old Boy, which you've probably seen.
Yes, Old Boy, I've 100% seen.
Yeah, and part three was Lady Vengeance. I don't think they connected story wise. They just three tales of revenge and vengeance.
Yeah. Quick one before you go on to Lady Vengeance. Which do you prefer, the original Old Boy or the remake, the American
Oh, the
remake?
original.
The original.
Yeah, I think it hits a bit harder. I thought the remake was decent, but I
Hmm.
didn't. The original had this weird sense of humor to it, and yeah, the remake was good. It was a perfectly serviceable remake, but for me, it just didn't quite hit as hard as the original. I think it was because it was very close to it.
Yeah,
Like
it
it
is
was
very
shot.
close to
It,
it.
it looked a lot like it. It was shot very like it.
I think the issue that I had with it is I seen the remake before the original,
Uh huh.
which is
Yeah.
why I've got a little bit more of an affinity with the remake.
Yeah. I saw the original when it was just came over here, sort of fresh off the translator
Yeah. All right,
pile
sorry.
because it
Anyway, go
was
on.
it was getting loads
I
of anyway.
cut you off. Yeah.
Yes, Lady Vengeance is about this young girl who is accused of and convicted of murder, killing, and she goes to jail for it. And the film starts with her being released from jail and trying to re-establish her life, but she's really quiet and withdrawn and sort of quite unbothered about things. But she's working on projects, and you're kind of not really sure what they are really at first. She's
Yeah.
always sort of got something to do and somewhere to be, and everywhere she goes, she always goes to see people who she was in jail with, who have since gotten out, various ex-cons to do favors for her. And
Yeah.
the film jumps between this quest that she's on, freshly out of jail, and cutting back to when she was in jail and how everybody seems to like her because she sort of does lots of favors for people. And she's this very happy, sort of quite irrepressible, sort of very sweet woman in jail and sort of is quite maternal and looks after people. Yet when she's out of jail, she's very cold, she's very aloof, sort of unbothered about things, very, very quietly spoken, and it's her inhabiting this character that she has to be in order to carry out her quest, the quest that she's on. And you start to find out about the crime that she committed, like why she was in jail. It's a film with lots of flashbacks and flashes back to present. And there's a side story as well with another character. She has to go on a trip to Australia and stuff. It sounds very wacky and layered, but it's not as complicated as I'm probably making it sound. Probably not quite as good as Old Boy. Old Boy was a bit more tight, a bit more focused, and had some great fight scenes and some really brutal sort of action scenes in it.
Yeah.
Lady Vengeance isn't as action packed, or as I don't think maybe not as stylish as Old Boy, because Old Boy is like a very cool film.
Mm.
Um, but a brilliant revenge film and a good story, well told as well as the stories, all the various parts of the story unfold and click together to make the complete story. It's really good, very satisfying ending as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Korean revenge story. So you know it's good because the Korean do make a fantastic revenge story,
Yeah.
such as Chaser and I Saw the Devil. Yeah, the main character as well. She's really brilliant in it because she practically plays sort of two different characters.
Yeah.
And the bad guy, there's an antagonist, a bad guy in it who I don't think he really turns up till about halfway through the film. But it's Old Boy, the main character from Old Boy, Odesu.
Hmm.
He's this sort of like antagonist who shows up at some point. He's brilliant in it as well. Absolute sleazebag, but yeah, really good. If you liked Old Boy, you'll like Lady
Yeah, I
Vengeance.
like that. Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
probably like it because I really enjoyed Old Boy. Obviously, I like both the original and the remake, but I'll check it out.
yeah,
I'm making sure
definitely.
to note all of these this time as well, so we can
Yeah,
Going through
I've
them.
been opening tabs with them all in, and I'm going to watch them.
Yeah, yeah.
But
No, it's good. Um, which one should I do next? Let's have. Got this one down as a thriller, and it was coming up on thriller searches, but it's probably more of an action than it is thriller. But I've got Cliffhanger down. Sylvester Stallone
Yeah, Cliffhanger.
from the 90s.
John Lithgow. Is it John
John
Lithgow?
Lithgow.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Lithgow.
John
Yeah,
Lithgow's so
he's
good.
there. So the premise of Cliffhanger is Sylvester Stallone's is a mountain ranger. He was on a rescue attempt, and he was trying to get this family who got a bit stuck, and there was an accident at the very start of the movie, and he loses a member of the family. Very intense scene, and they fall. So he's haunted by it. He stays away, and he's kind of forced out of retirement because a plane crashes up in the mountains. So he goes up to help them and get them to safety, reluctantly, and he finds out that they are criminals. And John Lithgow's kind of forces him against his will to take him through the mountains to retrieve, is it like a treasure or like a suitcase with
Is
confidential
it a bag full of
information?
money or something like that?
Something along those lines, and that's it. So he's doing his best to kind of keep the peace, keep them moving, so they can find this scattered loot, and that's it. And it's quite intense, and it's not so much. It's not heavy action based because it's not like fisticuffs and guns the whole way through.
Mm.
It becomes a bit more of a race against time because there's one point where they're heading up the mountain with one of the Rangers, Lithgow, and Sylvester Stallone manages to get away, and he's got to go he's got to traverse the more difficult route up the mountain. So he's going up the steep side while the Rangers trying to slowly take the criminals up on the easier route to get to where this treasure is, and it's a bit of a race against time to see who can get there first. Because Stallone wants to get to the treasure to use it as a bargaining chip to free his friends, ultimately, who were being held hostage. And there is action in it. There's the inevitable fight. It's a Stallone film. You're going to get the kind of fights that come with that and the big deaths. Lithgow's great, and Lithgow is having the time of his life, I think.
Lithgow's great at everything.
Yeah, I mean, he is great and everything, but he's really good at switching it on and off. Lithgow, though, like he can do the very serious parts, or he can do the kind of the hammed up cheesy roles. And he can do comedy. He can play a very straight line. And in this, he's got a good mix of the intensity when he needs to be intense as a villain to come across as a villain. But at the same time, he really hams it up in scenes as well. It's cheesy and corny where it needs to be. And it's just one of those movies that reminds me of being a kid. It always come. I felt like it was on every year at Christmas time, around about Christmas Eve, and we would it would stick it on the TV with my dad because, like, as you know, as well as I do, when we were kids, we did have 4 channels for the majority of the time.
Yeah.
So whatever film was on was the film of choice, and it was the kind of film that my mum would gripe and mourn about when me and my dad would stick it on at 9 o'clock in the middle of the week to kind of watch through it. But it's good. It's good. It is a little bit more action, but the reason it's on my list is if you do search for thrillers, it's one of the ones that come up and I thought, oh, that's a good movie. It brings back a lot of positive memories from being a kid.
It's got like
It's
a
good
crime
fun.
aspect to it.
It's going in the list. Yeah. So Cliffhanger, and again another one of mine where it gets shit scores.
Does
All
it?
of yours have been 90s. Mine are fucking sitting. I sit comfortably around the 40 to 60% kind of range. Yeah.
But I mean, all yours have been good though. Like Fugitive was solid.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Like, I mean, I remember it being a big deal at the time and people saying it was a great film. Silence of the Lambs is just an eternal banger.
Silence of the Lambs is probably the best one. I think Silence of the Lambs did have a good
I remember
rating.
people liking Cliffhanger as well. I did watch it, but I can't remember much of it. I just remember like little scenes of it here and there.
Again, it's another one of those where if it was released now, the memes would be fucking off the chart for it. Like when he drops the person at the beginning, you know, when he's hanging from the suspended cable and he's gripping onto them above the chasm.
Yeah.
And he's hanging on and you see like the gloves slipping from his hand.
Right.
And it's cutting from that to the carabiner where the thread's popping as if he's going to fall. And then he falls and the person slips and it's like his face is going, no! Yeah, it's fucking
I can't remember much of it. I'll have to give it another. I remember
it's intense, but intensely cheesy as well. Like, it's the kind of thing. Search the scene. I'll clip the scene and I'll put the scene online. So if it's at the start of the film, so it's not a fucking spoiler to say that it's on me.
Right, similar to you, my last one isn't strictly a thriller. Well, it's probably more a direct horror, but for me, I got very strong thriller vibes from it.
Okay.
It's a film called Possum. Um,
Possum.
it's
I
a
think I've heard of
it's
this, you know.
it's a small sort of I don't know if it was an indie film, but it was made by
I thought, I thought you were going to say when you said possum, I thought you were going to say it's a small sort
small
of
creature.
rodent. Fuck this, Lawson. What's this? This is a
What?
horror.
I mean, it is a bit scary, but it's not. Yeah, I when I was watching it, I was thinking it was like a thrillery type, like a horror thriller. It's got like
Oh
a
my
because
god.
it's like yeah, but it is very it has a very sinister atmosphere, a bit like Silence of the Lambs and Hannibal and stuff. Maybe a little bit more, but yeah, it's just about this guy who moves back home. He's a puppeteer, I think. So I'm sure he's
Is
a
it this?
puppeteer or something like that. And yeah, and he moves back to his, I think it's like his childhood home with his uncle because I think something happened. He was like to him, it like he's like disgraced or he's like running from something, you know. And he moves back home with his uncle into this like horrible, dank sort of house that he lives in. Um, and I think the house has been damaged in some way. Yeah, I think part of it was burnt or something. But it's just like this horrible old like 70s kind of looking place. It's like nightmare fuel. It's horrible. And he's got this bag that he carries around with him everywhere.
Yeah.
And inside, you later find out that inside it is this like a puppet. It's a puppet that he's made called that he refers to as Possum. And there's the main sort of story that's overarching the whole thing is this there's a kid gone missing, a young boy's gone missing in the area, and you don't quite know if the main character is involved in any way because he's just really weird. He hardly talks at all. And he's sort of haunted by this puppet. He tries to get rid of it a few times. He like sort of leaves it places and he like he'll throw it somewhere like in a throws it over a bridge and stuff like that. But it always comes back. He'll wake up the next day and it's there again. It's just back in his room, and
Fucking
it's
hell.
like the puppet's like a big spider thing. It's really like homemade and shitty looking. It's horrible, and it's got like a mannequin head.
Yeah.
And it's the face looks a little bit like the main character's face, and yeah, it's just sort of always around him. Um, and the scenes where like it's sometimes it's like chasing him or like he wakes up and it's like crawling up the bed towards him, but it's just like dream stuff, you know. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like a living. It's not a film with like a puppet that's alive. It's not like horror. Yeah, but it's just the atmosphere in it is absolutely choking at times. Like it's fucking painful to watch. Like you kind of breathe sometimes watching it.
Yeah.
It's got this style that's like old. I read somewhere that they tried to take off like remember when we were kids and they had them public sort of they were like adverts on telly, but they were sort of stuff like don't play with fireworks and
Yeah.
don't play in quarries and stuff like that and don't jump in lakes and things, you know, like but they were done in like really creepy fucking ways with like kids dying and stuff like that and
Yeah.
they were really
The
scary, but they were like
the worst scary, yeah.
public service announcement type things. Um, it looks like that. It's got this grainy sort of look to it, and everything's just flat and grey and brown. And this main character, he's played by what's his name? Summit. I've got the screen of Summit Harris. I think his name is Sean Harris. You'll know him from like all sorts of stuff. He was in one of the Mission
Mm.
Impossibles. I think he just like radiates this kind of I don't know. He's just so like broken and he can sort of barely cope, you know, like he looks like a man completely on the edge, totally broken, running from this freaking spider thing, and a lot of it's very like metaphorical, and you know, it's all very
Aye.
you can sort of you don't need a PhD to figure it all out, all the representations and stuff. But yeah, he sort of he goes back to his old school, the school where this boy went missing from, and stuff like that. And you find out things like he'd actually met this kid that went missing before. He's met him previously, and his uncle's really horrible. Don't like kind. He's not horrible outright, but he's just sinister. He's like a bit creepy, and
Yeah, it's a creep.
he says things, and you think like, is he involved? Like, does he know something? Is it him? It's a bit of a who done it, and the main characters are the people who might have done it. If that
Yeah,
makes sense, it's not. It appears supernatural and very horrorish, but it's not. It's not a supernatural film at all. The reality blends a lot with fantasy and dream in it, and it comes across as a bit of a supernatural vibe horror film. But it's at the end of the day, at the end of it, it's not. It's just a very creepy thriller, horror thriller. Yes, but yeah, again, one of them films that you'll watch once and you'll probably. I mean, it's the scenes in it that are quite scary, but it's a brilliant film. It's really brilliant. Hard to look away from at times, but you'll probably not watch it again because it's just got this atmosphere that like crushes you.
yeah,
You feel a bit like dirty after watching it and a bit
yeah,
grimy. It's got that sort of that old. It's yeah, like the whole film looks like it stinks and like
yeah.
yeah, the whole
Just
thing.
I know what you mean. Like
It's just choking trying to watch it. Like just thinking of it now, I'm just like thinking, oh,
it's
like
like
his
yeah,
house. Like the house that they live in. It's like fucking horrible. It's yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
brilliant film. Really, really well. Like production design's amazing. Like it's everything's been carefully thought of and considered as to how
yeah,
things will look. Like the puppet itself looks fucking like nightmare fuel.
yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Not one to
awesome.
watch with the kids, but a good film.
Yeah. All right, I'll do my last one very quickly, or one of the last ones, and then we'll run through some honourable mentions. Another action thriller. I'll go for 2004. Again, it's pretty. I'm saying it's pretty stacked cast. It's not necessarily a stacked cast, but it's got some big names in it. Tom Cruise, Jimmy Fox, Mark Ruffalo. I forgot Mark Ruffalo was in actually. Jada Pinkett Smith. Actually, it is got a fucking stacked cast. Jason Statham, Javier Bardem.
The
Um,
fuck is this?
Collateral.
Collateral. I didn't know all those other people are in it.
No, I didn't either. Well, that's
I've not
coming up.
seen it in a long time. Like, but
They must
yeah,
just have little bit parts. They surely can't have. They definitely don't have big parts in them.
I
But
can't. Yeah, I can't think of any other characters apart from yeah, Jamie and Tom.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well, it's mostly based around those two, yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the premise is that if you haven't seen it, and I mean, you likely will have. If you're any kind of fan of Tom Cruise, you'll have seen the movie. Is that the character Jamie Foxx's character is a guy called Max, and he's a cab driver. And he's got a passenger who says, "Kind of, well, let me be your fare for the night, and I'll give you X amount of money." And he says, "Oh, well, I'm not really meant to take a fare for the night. Like we're meant to
Mhm.
do kind of one stops." And he says, "Well, I'm going to pay you like 3 times what you'd make in a night." And I can see that you want to get out of it because he's got this kind of image of where he wants to be, and he's talking to him about starting this limo service. I think he's trying to get set up to get off the ground. So anyway, he gets swung by the deal, and he goes, "All right, you pay me that much money, I'll take you around." Um, but he quickly discovers that the stops that Tom Cruise is making through the nights are to kill people because he's an assassin. So he's quickly trying to get himself out of it, but also trying to stop him because that's who Jada Pinkett Smith is. One of the targets is a woman that he knows. Coincidentally, Jada Pinkett Smith. She's one of the ones at the end of the night, so he's trying to escape, trying to get away. Tom's got a very kind of wicked hold on him, and it's good to see Tom Cruise in that villain role.
Mm.
Um, he does it very well. He doesn't do it very often, but when he does do it, he does it very well. Not that he does anything particularly bad anyway, but it's very good. He's a very compelling character because he's almost quite likable.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. He's
He's one
very
of them.
cool in it, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, and very
very
like
cool.
confident and relaxed
Very
and at
cool, very
ease. Yeah.
confident, very suave. Even when he's going and he's taking out these guys in the various places that he stops, and he's just very cool and calm and collected. And it's not until right near the end when he starts to show signs of getting a little bit flustered and a little bit hot under the collar and realizing that it's coming to the crunch point. And Max has been a real pain in his ass, but it's very good. It's very good. It's again, it's another one that's probably a little bit more action than thriller, but it is very intense. Very intense. It's described as I like the way it's described. It's described as an American neo noir action thriller,
Yeah.
which is one of the coolest fucking descriptions for a movie I've ever heard.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'd say that. Yeah. I'd say it's a thriller, definitely. It
Yeah,
does have
but
some actiony bits in it, but I wouldn't say it's an action film. It's
yeah, that's it.
definitely
And
an
I like
action.
how quickly it's set as well. Like it's not in real time, but it's set over the course of one night, so everything feels. It's got a timer on every scene.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
everything's like
mean?
urgent. Yeah,
Everything's got a little bit of
yeah,
urgency about it. Everything's
yeah.
done. Everything's against the clock.
Because Jamie
So it
Foxx is
feels like a
constantly
very
like,
fast movie when you watch it. It
yeah,
feels like it's you're thinking, shit, we're flying through this.
yeah, yeah. Because he's like he's Jamie Foxx is constantly like gambling, or not
Yeah,
gambling, but like bargaining with him, isn't he? To like
yeah,
sort of to like figure him out and sort of maybe
yeah,
try and figure out his motivations and how to get out of this situation. Yeah,
yeah,
he's like working overtime in each sort of confrontation to try and figure out this. Forgetting where
yeah.
his name is, isn't it? Tom's name.
I
Uh,
remember. I
I
remember
want to
Jimmy
say
Fox's name. I
Winston
remember
Wolfe, but
Max because I remember him
that's
shouting and Max at him all the time.
is Max not the driver?
Yeah, Max is Jimmy Fox.
Yeah, yeah.
Tom Cruise is Vincent. Vincent. Yeah. Mark Ruffalo. Ruffalo is the cop, isn't he? That's trying to.
I can't remember. I
He's a
can't
little
remember
bit
much of
behind
it.
him, trying to keep up with him.
I can't remember anybody else. I just remember the cool bits where he kills people.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah,
Collateral.
Collateral's great. Yeah, great film. Saw it in the cinema. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I've still got quite a few honourable mentions, to be honest. Do you want to run through your
I've
honourable
got a
mentions
couple.
first?
Yeah, I'll do. I mean, there's a couple that we spoke about previously. Prisoners we talked about.
Oh, yeah, Prisoners is a
Um,
great movie.
great film. Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal and his amazing hair and what's his name? Paul Dano, fucking
It's another
Wolverine.
one that I find a little bit difficult to watch. Prisoners. It's quite intense. I think I've only
It's
watched it
yeah,
once or twice, and
yeah. Good
it's quite
atmosphere in
heavy.
it. It's just like
Yeah.
always grey and raining and
Oh
like just
yeah.
it's like minging. You know, it's yeah. On that note as well, Seven. Can't say much
Yeah.
more about Seven really, but like
No, I've got
Seven
seven on
is
my
like it's
honourable
like a
mentions as
thriller
well.
prototype. It's just like even
Yeah,
though it's not, but it's
that is the bar. You know, when you think of thrillers and you think of setting the bar, I think
yeah,
seven is
yeah,
still kind
yeah.
of the
Seven's
bar
so
for it.
like yeah, twisty and sort of
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on. You know, like it doesn't spoon feed you. Yeah, Seven's got everything. Great film. I saw The Devil. I think I might have spoke about that before. A cop and a serial killer. Korean film. It's about a cop and a serial killer. The serial killer kills the cop's girlfriend or fiance at the
Oh
beginning,
yeah.
and the cop I think he essentially retires or goes AWOL from the cops to hunt this guy down. But when he finds him, he like beats the piss out of him, like fucking almost kills him.
Yeah.
But then he says to him, "I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to leave you till you get better, and I'm going to find you again. I'm going to fuck you up again, and I'm
Yeah.
going to, like this is your life now. This is going to be like your
Yeah.
whole life."
This is it. Yeah.
But the killer sort of starts to figure out who the cop is. So they sort of going at each other like cat and mouse, but like they keep switching roles
Right. Okay.
and just sort of going at it like the cop goes after the killer goes after the cop's family and the cop himself. It's like it's just this endless cycle of just attacking each other and yeah, super violent and some great like fight scenes, you know, some like
Hmm.
almost martial artsy kind of fight scenes, but brilliant. Yeah, that's solid. And Leon,
Oh yeah, Leon's great.
amazing film.
Another staple of the genre, really.
Yeah,
Leon's.
yeah.
I mean,
94
there's not much you
Leon.
can say about Leon without seeing something else that somebody else has said at some point along the line.
No, that's yeah. It's one of them films. It's like Seven. You know, we could talk about it all day, but it's all been said before because it's
Yeah.
just yeah. It's like it's another one of them that's like almost a prototype. Just
Yeah.
banging everything about it. Perfect.
Yeah, I've got a few. I've got a few actually. A few that I've got on there. So I've got Gone Girl
Yeah,
with
Gone Girl was good. I enjoyed
Affleck
that.
and Rosamund Pike. Very good, very intense. All I remember is, and I'll not see it if you haven't seen it, but check it out if you haven't seen it. It's a very, very good film. It's a very, very good thriller. There's a twist about halfway through that I didn't see coming. And when you see the twist, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it, and I thought, fuck, what a way to end the movie. And then it goes on for about another fucking hour.
Mm.
And you think, oh, and it's just constantly got you going. Next one I've got is Inception.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I enjoyed Inception.
Inception's very, very good.
I think it's Nolan's best film. I've not seen the war one he
Um,
did. I'm not. Was it 1917? Was it
yeah, it did Dunkirk as well, didn't he?
Dunkirk? Yeah, I've not
Dunkirk.
seen the war one, but of
Is it
all of the other
Nolan's
stuff,
best film?
I think it's his
Is
best film.
Inception Nolan's best film?
I think it's better than the Batman. It's miles
Uh,
better than Tenet.
yeah, Tennis not. I've not seen Oppenheimer yet. I need to see Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Oppenheimer was alright. Yeah, didn't love it. Or Inception, thought was great.
Inception. I think Inception's definitely better than Interstellar.
Yeah, definitely.
You might be
Even
right, because
even McConaughey couldn't say that.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer, but I think for me it'd be just because you know how much of a Batman guy I am.
Mm,
I'd be torn between kind of Dark Knight and Inception, just as a personal favorite. In terms of filmmaking, Inception's miles better.
mm,
In terms of personal favorite, I'd probably tip it towards Dark Knight.
yeah,
Um, I've got Knives Out as an honourable mention.
yeah. I enjoyed that. I didn't think I was going to.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
good
think it was
fun.
my cup of tea, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for something to watch as well, it's very similar, very easy to watch, um, and it's got a very similar kind of tone to the Knives Out movies. Is a show on Netflix called The Residents, which is all set in the White House, and it's got I forget her name. I'll tell you actually. I'll Google it. It's her. It's Crazy Eyes from Orange Is the New Black.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, she's a kind of quirky detective who they bring in to solve a murder in the White
Uh-huh.
House. And again, it's all predominantly set around one evening that
Right.
flashes backwards and forwards, and it feels very much like a Knives Out kind of feeling.
I'll
Very
give
much
that
like
a
a
go.
Knives Out kind of movie. Give it a go. Very easy to put on. You don't need to be fully invested in it. If you want something
Yeah,
just dead easy to put on that you can just space out to, put The Residents on
that's
and
got Kylie
check it
Minogue
out.
in.
Another honourable mention. Well, I've got two more. One is a very action heavy thriller. Is Speed from the 90s. Keanu Reeves,
Oh
Sandra
God,
Bullock.
yeah, yeah.
And I always get them confused. Is Gene Hackman the bad guy in Speed? It's not Gene Hackman,
No,
is it?
it's Dennis Hopper, I think.
Dennis Hopper. I always get Dennis Hopper and Gene Hackman mixed up. Yeah, it is. Now you said it, it definitely is. Very intense. Very good action. Keanu Reeves is great. Sandra Bullock is fantastic. I think that was one of the ones that probably propelled the pair of them into kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not ear level. What's it called?
Yeah,
How would
list.
you earless celebrity? Yeah, my brain's not braining tonight. And the last honourable mention I've got is a one that I know has got very good plaudits and awards from critics and fans alike. Is Arrival with Amy
Oh
Adams.
yeah, yeah. I loved Arrival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Arrival is very, very good.
Did
Very,
that
very
do?
good.
Did it do well with critics and stuff?
It did well with critics. I think I'll tell you right now. Actually, I'm
'Cause I
sure
just, I
it
just
got
don't know. I don't know how it did at all. Like, um,
yeah.
yeah,
So 94%, 7.9. It did very well. I
yeah,
don't know what
did
kind
well.
of money it made, but it's very clever. Like it was nice to see a kind of a sci-fi thriller like that was very clever.
It's not
I
about
liked
guns and fucking
yeah,
lasers and
exactly,
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. I
Aye.
liked the way they played with time a little bit, and fuck it, the spoilers. If you've not seen Arrival, just don't fucking listen for 30 seconds. I like how as she's learning the language, obviously she doesn't realize at the time, but she's learning more about how to manipulate time.
Mm.
So the more she learns the language, the more she kind of becomes in tune with what happened in the past and what's happening in the future.
Yeah, time becomes like flat,
Yeah,
essentially. Yeah.
and she's teaching herself that without realizing as she's learning the language from the heptapods. And I thought that was fucking brilliant because the first time round you don't realize it, and then you go back and watch it for a second time, knowing what's coming, and you can see everything kind of pull
Mm.
together. And I
Hmm.
love a movie that makes me want to watch it twice straight away, so that you can go back
Yeah.
and watch out for all these. Um, how much money did it make?
It's
So
based on a short story, and I read the shorts when I heard the film was coming out, and that was a short story. I read the story just out of bare boredom, really. And I like a short story.
yeah,
And you should read it because it's not very long, but it's really good, and you get that sort of past, present, and future thing
yeah,
in the story, and you don't sort of quite realize until quite late in the story, or I didn't anyway, because maybe I'm an idiot. But you do sort of get that feeling, you realize, oh my god, that's like like that's what's happening here.
yeah,
Um, and it's not as like bombastic as the films. They don't. There's not the bit with the Chinese embassy and the
yeah,
and the bomb, that kind of thing. Or I don't remember there being anyway. It's much more like low level and dry and sort
hmm
of it's yeah. But definitely, if you like the film, read the short story because the
yeah.
short story
I'll
is
definitely give that a go because I
brilliant.
love the film.
You'll be able to burn that out in half an hour tonight, no bother.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
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 I'll
it's
definitely,
really short. I think I read it at work one time when I was
yeah,
bored
I'll
on my
definitely
lunch.
give that a go. Money wise, so it had a £47 million budget and it made 200 worldwide. So it
Fucking
made a
hell,
profit.
did well.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the last. That was the last honourable mentions, and that is thrillers, ladies and gentlemen. Some good recommendations, some good pulls from Lawson. I've got a couple of good pulls and a couple of sketchy ones according to fucking Rotten Tomatoes, but fuck them.
Don't listen to them.
Yeah, fuck that. Watch them all. Watch every one that we've talked about. If you haven't seen them, watch them all. I'm just pulling up to see what next week is. Thrillers. Okay, so you know what? I've picked all the ones so far, Lawson, so you can have a choice of next week. So you can have a choice of 2 seconds, and I will tell you. So next week you can have a choice of martial arts movies, 80s movies, 90s movies, noughties movies, biopics and dramas I've kind of hooked together,
Yeah.
superhero movies, or animated movies of any kind. They're the ones that we've got left to run through as genres, so you can have any one of them.
Christ. Let's do martial arts.
Martial arts. Martial arts. There is going to be some fucking bangers next week, people,
Yeah, it's
because
going to be
there
some
is
good
some
ones, I think.
great martial arts films.
Yeah. An excuse to watch a lot of martial arts films as well this week.
Okay, as usual, thanks for listening, guys. Check us out on all the socials. Give us a follow. Give us a like. You know the drill. Like, just it supports us. It's great for the channel. Um, we're getting close to some higher numbers on the likes of TikTok, and it'd be nice for you if you haven't checked us out on
Supports
there.
us. Are you making money from this?
No, but it's like
Better not be,
supports the
because I'm
channel,
not.
doesn't it? Fucking hell. We're not that big. Jesus Christ, we haven't hit 1,000 yet. Fucking hell. Need 10 times much.
This is
For
my
all you
retirement.
want, if everyone who fucking listens wants to jump on and follow us, then we might. But at the moment, do we fuck?
This is my pension, this. Fuck all else.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about as well. Have you watched Sinners?
No, I've still not watched it. No.
Oh, fucking useless. Watch Sinners. Watch Sinners, and we'll do a
Yeah.
special short episode to review it. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Check us out next week. See you later.
Bye bye.